struggling. So I've just given you a very brief snapshot of what's happening in Indonesia on the macro front, growth front, as well as a little bit about what's happening on decentralization and democracy. Now let me talk about something which is an ongoing exercise for Indonesia, which is a very comprehensive reform program, intended obviously to improve the structure of governance as well as improve the investment climate. And it's an ongoing program, and it's taking far longer than we have thought, but I will explain why. In terms of general trade policy, I'll start with the trade policy because that's what I'm responsible for. We have a program to reduce what in Indonesia we call the high-cost economy. It used to be high-cost economy used to be the euphemism or the what's the word? What's the common word for euphemism? It's the code word for corruption. Used to be, but now we can talk very openly about corruption because the government has this government is very committed to reducing corruption. We have created special corruption, anti-corruption independent commissions, and we've got very strict government procurement regulations in place, etc., etc. So part of the reducing of the high-cost economy is you have to reduce deregulation, reducing bureaucracy, and reducing the scope for corruption because of discretion, because of gray area, and so on. Is part of the whole bureaucratic reform of the government. And using information technology, so using online application, etc., etc., to help, e-governance is part of the big program of the government. We have a one-stop window already in the Ministry of Trade, and we also want regional government offices who now issue a lot of the licenses to also do the same thing. Same thing with flow of goods and improving distribution, and we have a big program of increasing the competitiveness of our products through deregulation, increasing the promotion as well as capacity building for a number of sectors. And obviously developing SMEs is a big part of the program. I don't know how much of you are interested in what we do in terms of the international trade negotiations, but we do a multi-track strategy. We are negotiating in the midst of negotiations in the WTO. Not getting very far. I will be going to Geneva the day after tomorrow for yet another ministerial meeting at the G20, G33 level. But this is still something that will be ongoing. Regional, the big thing that's going to happen regionally is ASEAN, and we'll be signing the ASEAN Economic Community Blueprint next week. This is going to be a year program which will integrate the ASEAN economies to a much bigger extent than today. And we also have agreed to negotiate with Europe. There is an ASEAN-EU FTA in the making. It's at the very beginning stage. It may take a few years to negotiate, but at least the notion, that's a turning point, because in the past EU was not in favor of doing regional agreements, but now it seems that, so this is something to be bilaterally, we have just finished a bilateral FTA with Japan, and the next one we will probably do is with Australia. Our tariffs are actually very low. We have a program to reduce tariffs by 10% by 2010, and really there are only a few products in agriculture that have non-tariff measures as well as high tariffs. By and large, our tariffs are already fairly low. I just wanted to mention here, part of the e-governance that I mentioned earlier, we now have a program, what we call National Single Window. It's really a one-stop service for processing of import and export documents and procedures. And it's part of the ASEAN Single Window target, which will be achieved in 2008. So this is really quite revolutionary. When we started this exercise last year, just getting 25 government agencies which are involved in giving you one piece of paper or another for you to clear your goods just getting the information of the 25 government agencies took 18 months to put it all together and get everybody to put it in the same format, have the same business process, the same application form. That took 18 months, and that's all manual, right? Now we have to translate that into an electronic system and be able to issue